Hi guys, and welcome to another video lesson. Today we're going to be taking a look at some semiquaver fills. So before we get going, let's just clarify something. Semiquavers and 16th notes are exactly the same thing. It's a different name for the same thing. You may hear me bounce between the two different names over the course of the video. Apologies if that's confusing. I'll try and stick to just the one. Semiquavers is the European term for it. 16th note is an American term for exactly the same thing. They're worth a quarter of a beat each, and they're joined up with two horizontal lines, which are called tails. Doesn't matter if you call them tails or not, as long as you can see that they're joined up with two of them. Semiquavers are counted 1 eander, 2 eander, 3 eander, 4 eander. So to kick off, we'll try playing that on the snare drum. I'm going to go at 70 beats per minute, but as with all of these videos, if you need to pause it, slow it down, work up to that tempo, that's absolutely fine. We're going to be playing this in single strokes. So for me as a right-hander, that's right, left, right, left, right, left. Left is turn that round. Here we go. I'm going to put that bar of semiquavers in a 3-1 resolve now. I've gone for a fairly standard quaver groove and I've put a crash at the beginning of the resolve. When you move from a quaver groove to a semiquaver fill, we're going to be doubling how fast we play. The music hasn't got any faster. It's important to note there, we're still playing at 70 beats per minute all the way through, but the number of notes that we're playing has doubled, so we have to move twice as quick to fit 16 semiquavers in a bar where we're used to having 8 notes. I'll play it for you now so you can see what I'm talking about. Let's play that resolve again, but this time let's add a bass drum to 1, 2, 3 and 4 in the fill. That's going to land on your lead hand every time. So for me as a right-hander, it's going to be on my right hand. 1 eander, 2 eander. Try and keep the notes nice and even and try not to hit the snare drum harder when you play the bass drum. Here we go. Now let's orchestrate that semiquaver fill. I'm going to play 4 semiquavers on each drum. So 4 on the snare, 4 on tom 1, 4 on tom 2, and 4 on tom 3. I'm going to keep that bass drum in on 1, 2, 3, and 4 as well. Here we go. Yes, you guessed it, new fill means 3-1 resolve. So here it comes, 3-1 resolve, 70 beats per minute. What I want you to do now is pause the video and go away and try and create your own semiquaver fills. I've gone for 4 on each drum and in order, if you like, around the drum kit. So in the order that the toms appear. Fairly predictable, fairly obvious fill if I'm honest. Have a go at experimenting with these 16 notes and see what fills you can come up with. See if you can create 2, 3, even 4 fills that are yours. Then when you're done, come back and we'll finish off the lesson. How'd you get on? Got some semiquaver fills of your own? That's great. So now what we're going to do is change the length of the fill. So we've been looking at a 1-bar fill, 16 semiquavers, 1 eander, 2 eander, 3 eander, 4 eander. Now we're going to halve that. So we're only going to play 8 semiquavers. But we can't just have half a bar lying around the place. We've got to have a whole bar. So I'm going to play half a bar of groove at the beginning, 1 and 2 and then I'm going to play my 8 semiquavers at the end. So that will be 3 eander, 4 eander. I'll keep the bass drum in as well, just like we were doing in the 1-bar fill. I'll play it for you now so you can see what I'm talking about. Now let's orchestrate that half-bar fill. We've only got 8 semiquavers to play with this time, so I'm going to go for 2 on each drum. Now, here's where the tricky bit is. The bass drum isn't going to be at the beginning of each drum, if you like, so it's not going to land on the snare, then tom 1, then tom 2, then tom 3. The bass drum is still going to be on 3 and 4. So 3, E, and then no bass drum as I come up to tom 1, and Then a bass drum on 4 as I come over to tom 2, 4, E, and then no bass drum as I come down to tom 3, and It's a tricky one, this one. If you need to slow it down, that's absolutely fine. Here it comes at 70 beats per minute, which is your target tempo for today. So now let's put that in a 3-1 resolve. Although we could say technically it's a 3.5 half resolve, isn't it? That's not really what its name is. It's still called a 3-1 resolve, but you see what I'm getting at. We're going to play 3 bars groove, then another half a bar groove, and then our small half bar fill to finish off. Again, you may want to slow this one down and build up to 70 beats per minute. That's absolutely fine. So there you go, a quick look at semiquaver fills. 16 notes in the bar, 1 E-ender, 2 E-ender, 3 E-ender, 4 E-ender. We've looked at 1 bar semiquaver fills, and we've had a quick look at half bar semiquaver fills as well. Once you've got to grips with the exercises from today's lesson, try and come up with your own 1 bar and half bar semiquaver fills. There are actually 16.2 million semiquaver fills on a standard drum kit like this one. So 1 crash, 1 ride, 1 hi-hat, the 4 toms, the bass drum, and the hi-hat pedal. That's a lot of fills. No, I'm not expecting you to find them all. Don't worry, I certainly haven't found them all yet. But there's plenty for you to work through and see which ones you can come up with and which ones you like. That's it for today's lesson, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. If you've got any questions, please feel free to get in touch. If you're watching this on YouTube, leave a comment down below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Take care, stay safe, and enjoy your drumming.